Hello folks. Well, our springtime weather is just atrocious. It's either blowing 30 miles an hour or it's storming and raining. But we should be getting pretty close towards the end of this month if things start to line out. Some springs are worse than others. This one's pretty bad for wind and storms and rain and everything else. But anyway, I've been wanting to do this video for a while anyway, just for y'all's information. The three reels that you see in the thumbnail, which are the Lews Custom Inshore, the Daiwa Coastal SV, and the Daiwa Tatula. These three reels, this one's $200, this one's $250, and the Tatula is $150. Just to give you a baseline of what we're dealing with here. First of all, I want to say I'm not sponsored by anybody. Zero. I've had a lot of offers for sponsorships and I've turned them all down. I don't want to be obligated to anybody. The only thing I have done, I've had let people send me stuff to try out and done a little video on it, but there's not been no sponsorships of any kind on this channel. So anyway, let's get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing. The Lews Custom Inshore is 6 years old. The Daiwa Coastal SV is 3 years old, and the Daiwa Tatula is 3 years old. I pull them down usually about once a year, and go through them and do all the greasing, oil, and cleaning, and all that stuff. The this reel is 6 years old and has zero issues. It's just a good old all-around reel, and the internals are holding up on it. It's caught a ton of fish, and like I said, no issues. Now, it's not as smooth and it doesn't cast as good as the Daiwas. And the reason for that, there's two reasons for it. One, this thing has centrifugal brakes in it. It does have a magnetic fine tuning, but that's strictly for fine tuning. It doesn't have a lot of effect on your casting ability. But any reel with centrifugal brakes, you've got to oil the brake drum on a regular basis to make them cast good distances. And the thing about centrifugal brake reels is that you oil them and they cast real good and long, and then as you keep casting and casting and casting, you start throwing that oil out of that brake drum, and they'll eventually start throwing shorter and shorter and shorter. It's just the nature of the beast. But it's not a deal breaker or a big deal in my book. Like I said, this reel has been a workhorse and it's really held up good. The Coastal SV, which is the most expensive reel in this lineup, is I was a little disappointed when I tore it down this not long ago after the 3 year, and there's some excessive wear on the pinion gear, and I've never seen that before with a Daiwa. And the Daiwa Tatula, there's no signs of wear like that on the pinion gear, and I'm not sure that pinion gear in this reel may not have quite been machined right. That's just a guess. I don't know. But I do know that it's got a lot of wear on it, and this reel makes noise now when you're reeling. Kind of like the rear end in a car when it starts to go out. You start getting that whining and humming noise. But it's kind of disappointing since it's the most expensive reel here. Like I said, the Daiwa Tatula, no issues at all. Still going strong. Everything looks like new on the inside. Cast like a dream. All these Daiwas, they've got two things that make them absolutely wonderful casters. And one of them is the pure magnetic backlash control. There's no brakes, no centrifugal brakes in here. And the other thing is the T-wing in the front where you have that wide slot that lets that line go out a lot freer when you're casting. I've never come across a reel that casts better than these Daiwas, and it's all because of the T-wing and the magnetic backlash control. The thing about magnetic backlash control, every cast is the same. It's identical. There's no variation. There's no oil being slung out. There's no brakes getting dry. None of that stuff. They just cast like a dream. The only thing on the market that might give these a run for their money as far as casting is possibly that Shimano with the computerized cast control. But I can't speak to that. I've never thrown one, never had one in my hands. I've heard guys rave about how far they cast. But that noise they make, that whine when that, I don't know exactly how they work. I know that there's a computer chip in there that somehow or another senses when the spool starts to slow down and starts compensating to keep you from backlashing. But man, they sound like to me, they sound weird when you're casting them. But like I said, I can't speak on them because I've never used one. One point I would make for this video involving these reels, and whether or not the Daiwas last 6 years, well, that's yet to be seen because they're 3 years old. But they've caught a ton of fish, both of them. This reel right here, if you want something that's just a workhorse that hangs in there, the Lews Custom Inshore, for durability, so far 6 years old, holding up great. So I don't know what, that's about all I can say about that. Then these other two, the Coastal SV and the Daiwa Tatula, I can tell you right now, between $250 and $150, to me, there's not 10 cents difference in them, much less $100. So in the future, when I get ready to replace, I'll be buying the Tatula. This is not worth, in my opinion, this is not worth the extra $100. Still cast like a dream. That hasn't been affected by the pinion gear. But yeah, that's, to me, it's not worth the extra $100. This reel, I like this reel a lot. I like the way it feels in my hand, and I don't know, there's just something about it that I like more than the Coastal SV. What else? that's about it. Like I said, this weather has been, it's been rough, and you guys locally know what I'm talking about. Like I said, it's going to line out, and we'll get into those days where you can fish without getting blown off the water. But anyway, like I said, I wanted to do this just for y'all's information. Like I said, it's strictly my opinion, and whatever that's worth. But in my opinion, get the Tatula and save $100. So anyway, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all. Till next time.